Hey guys, welcome back. Today I want to cover the YieldMax portfolio, some of the best performing ETFs in YieldMax, kind of go over them, look at total return and kind of the data, right? So we can see where we've been and where we might be going. And hopefully this will help you when you're trying to pick, what ETFs for income you want to be invested in and make the best choices. So today we're going to be looking at all of them. Not all of them, but we have MSTY, ULTY, TSLY, CONY, CHIPY, YieldMax, NVDY, AMZY, PLTY, and RENTY, which is new. I think RENTY is the newest one here that was launched in April, as well as CHIPY launched in April. And honestly, they're doing pretty good if you look year to date. CHIPY's up 26%. RENTY is up 4%. RENTY is definitely more, if you look at it, is definitely probably going to be more conservative of a strategy, but pretty cool if you're into REITs. Definitely worth taking a look at. But we're going to look at those high yields and, what ETFs are getting it. So we'll pull up today, June 24th, when this was shot, and look at the winners right now. So for the last 365 days, PLTY is up 132% in total return. That means if you were holding this for the last year, you would have totally returned your capital, as well as with MSTY. So I didn't realize this because I haven't looked that closely at PLTY yet. So now it's on my radar. I know Palantir has been doing great with the defense stuff and with the Trump election. So I know it's had a great year. So I'm not surprised when the stock is bullish, these strategies are going to do the best, right? And when they're bearish, they're going to see the biggest drawdown. So you got to keep that in mind. The price is currently at 66.69. I'm pretty sure that this fund launched at 50. Let's see. We have to go back to where we can find it. Oh, it looks like this fund launched at 30. Yeah, this fund launched at 30, and it looks like the new ones launch at 50. Yeah, so they've changed. MSTY has changed a bit. I know a lot of you guys know that. I remember the funds used to start at 20, but I think this is $50 is much better to prevent the reverse splits and stuff. The runners up: TSLY, CHIPY, CONY, YieldMax. Everything else is kind of blah, right? Not doing as well as you would think for the amount of risk you're taking. So, I recently sold off my CONY and YieldMax positions. CONY was doing actually really good last year. So if we go into the 5 year, you can see CONY has done really good. So when coin did a massive run last year. So it did good, and even its long-term returns here, I guess it's better to just go to all. Yeah, but still, Misty almost doubled it, right? And NVIDIA did 200%. So that's having a good. NVIDIA had a good year that same year, right? So now it's Palantir's time, it looks like, and we'll go back to the year. You can see that happening in the charts. So something you want to keep an eye on, probably. But how much further does these are the decisions that you have to make when you get into these. So if you look at Palantir, you see, okay, well, the stock is up a lot. This could have a pullback. If that happens, then this 132% return is not going to be that. It's going to change because your underlying value of your PLTY is going to go down. So it might end up being down closer to MSTY. That if it has a 20% pullback, if it has a 50% pullback, lower. So that goes back into the video I did on MSTY last week, where we talk about it's really good to be patient. I know the yields on these things and the total returns grab your attention, and you want to get in, and there's this FOMO. But really, the best thing to do is wait for these pullbacks, and do that. And you can be invested in other things in the same time, or maybe this is, you have to come up with your own strategy on what you do with your money. You can keep it in cash, you're going to get a percentage. Some people say, oh, well, that's not enough, it's only 4%. Well, if you lose 20% in a month, you might wish you waited for at least even a small 5% pullback or something, that way your average price gets better and you're not fighting to get your average cost down. My 2 cents there for strategy. But yeah, definitely taking a look at PLTY. MSTY had a good day yesterday, so that's up too. But so if you go just to last week, you can see MSTY is down. Gained a couple percent. So did Palantir. Palantir gained almost 10% in a few days. In a few days. So pretty crazy to see and look at, and you can just see this cluster down here. That is, these stocks have not performed as well, and in the last year, and the downside is just tougher for them to recover from. Here we had a good run in December, but we'll have to see. This is when Trump got elected, right? And we saw major bull runs, and basically everything. And now we're over here. So yeah, this is what it is, guys. It's hard to, like, these two are definitely the winners. I even just did a comparison video about ULTY, and looking at ULTY down at 14% based off of 100 and 132%. The risk is much easier when you're looking at that, because even if you get a pullback like here, like, you're still making, your total returns on a year are still 50 to 45% year to date. Let's see. Since CHIPY didn't have the data for that, you can see CHIPY is right up here now with MSTY on the year. So it's holding its own. So I mean, if this continue, you could see CHIPY possibly have 100% year, because it's performing that well. Palantir blowing out of the water, and even CONY with the Bitcoin stuff happening, you can see that that's making a comeback now, right? So it actually was way down here, almost negative 30%, and it's just making a comeback, which is good to see. So that is what I'm talking about. If you can find and be patient and find times to buy on these pullbacks, you're buying at these levels when the asset price is down, and it makes it much easier for you to hold these than buying up here at the tops. Well, let's look here. Buying when you're getting really good yields in history. This is not, you might get a few months of this, but this is boosting up the history of the stock, right? And you're up here for, this isn't even 2 months where you're in super high yields. So it's kind of looking like that again. We don't know how long this lasts. This could be going a major bull market, sure. But the chances are at some point you'll have a pullback, even if it's a minor pullback like this. And then that helps you get into these stocks and hold longer better. So you can see even here in July, this was like last summer. Maybe this is what we're looking at here. August, it's usually selling May going away. We haven't had that yet. Is this summer going to boom off, or are we going to, be slow, have some dips, and, finally go on a tear again? That's the thing about investing. You never know, but average entry is really important, and dollar cost averaging is really important. And yeah, I know I'm kind of coaching and preaching, but hopefully this helps. And like I said before, like the video, subscribe. If you like seeing, these rundowns of the stocks and the total returns, so you can kind of visualize it easier and hear me rant about it, let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll see you in the next video.